How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, chat? How are we doing? Today, we're gonna decide to go without the camera. That's right, no camera today because I look like a homeless man. So you guys don't get to see my beautiful face. And tomorrow, we'll turn the webcam back on. How was your day? Today, no trades from me for the most part. But boy, oh boy, did we have a wild event into the close today. What just happened to the market? So market originally gaps down, looks weak, reverses the whole gap down, and then Trump just absolutely destroys. Have I been crying? No, I have not been crying. I just look like an absolute homeless guy because I'm wearing my most comfortable clothes, which are not the most camera appealing clothes. Sometimes they got, you know, stains of food on them. They got holes in the hoodie and so on. So, and also my hair is just an absolute mess at the moment. My hair is just... I can't tame my hair at the moment. I feel like I need to go get a haircut because this hair is getting too wild for me to be able to maintain. But that's for another topic. Let's talk about what's going on in the market over here. I mean, boy, oh boy, this right here in front of you is the S&P 500 going directly from 570 to 540. From the after hour events that we had from the reciprocal tariffs event. And now the question is, does the market get bought back again from these areas, or do we actually see you know, a much bigger downside move, gap lower, sell off the open? And for those of you who have been trading since 2020, there was a wild event in 2020 where the market actually drops down 10% from previous day close and halts market wide. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember exactly what I was doing, where I was sitting, how everything was playing out like it was yesterday. So not saying that's gonna happen tomorrow, but if it does, that's something to be ready for. So looking to see how the market plays out in the overnight markets. That's going to be your blue lake, blue ocean, whatever the market's called. and then obviously pre-market tomorrow going into the open. How does everything play out? I might even try to get into work a lot earlier than usual, just so I could prepare for some of the opportunities and trades that the market might present me with. So that means no long stream today. So quick stream today. Mainly because I didn't even have any trades myself. I don't have any trades today to talk about. So I at this point, only thing we have to do is get ready for the stocks that, you know, might be in play tomorrow. And the main stocks that I really care about that might be in play tomorrow are all in the large cap sector or the overall markets themselves, the QQQ, the S&P 500. Let me just bring in the watch list right here. So Apple, Amazon, Google, that's your large cap Magnificent Seven. Threw in a couple other stocks over here to potentially keep an eye on, such as Palantir, Reddit, Micron, and then last but not least, the 4 or 5 instruments of doom, which is what I'm going to be focusing on if there is doom tomorrow. QQQ, S&P 500, IWM. Not DIA as much, but I'll be watching it to see where it is and how it's moving. But UVXY is going to be a main focus. If the market bounces back tomorrow, UVXY short, great opportunity potentially setting up over there if the market bounces back. But if the market doesn't bounce back, then potential long on UVXY, and then more downside on markets to look short on. And then obviously if the markets are getting absolutely poopsied on, you're gonna watch some of these positions over here. Tesla holding up some, even though Tesla reported delivery numbers today and sold off on that originally, it still had an insane reversal. So Tesla's still doing somewhat okay, still around $260 area if I remember correctly, but you know, more downside expected on there across the whole board. So very much excited for tomorrow. And a quick little look here at tomorrow's econ calendar, some things that could potentially shake the markets up for us. 8:30 we got the jobless claims, export import numbers, S&P global PMI at 9:45, ISM non-manufacturing at 10 o'clock. So along with the current volatility that the market already has because of the tariffs, we have more volatility expected from the inflation numbers, or I shouldn't say, I guess yes, inflation numbers that the feds will be watching to see how to decide whether to you know, increase interest rates or whether to decrease interest rates and so on. So lots of fun expected tomorrow. Fireworks expected tomorrow. Will you be trading at 5 in the a.m.? No, I'm not going to be waking up that early. But no, I might have to wake up like 6 o'clock just so I could get to work by 8 o'clock and then be able to you know, prepare for a great opportunity that's going to set up in front of us. I think with the current environment we have, with the volatility that's taking place, if you look at where UVXY is at the moment, I mean, that's almost back to $30. So lots of volatility pouring right back with this big down move. QQQ, let's go to the daily. QQQ pushing all the way back into you know, March 31st low, and we didn't think that low would come into play. At least I didn't, after having a good, you know, 2 days back-to-back green moves, especially with the green move we had today on the market, right? Green move today on the market after gapping lower, and then anyone who bought the last 3 days absolutely underwater at the moment, and more downside is very much, I shouldn't say imminent, but expected at this point. So this is where the stock market could really open down 10% off the market and off the close, sorry, and that would be what, 10% down. Is that, are we already 10? Oh no, it's a low, sorry. That should be today's close, and 10% down should be somewhere around 430, 428 or so, and not too far away from there. if we do gap lower in the after hours, or sorry, in the pre-market tomorrow. So gap down and then open, and then we're somewhere down here. That's a $11 move. So one ATR would take us 443. Two ATRs would take us somewhere into that area where we'll see what happens from there on out, huh? We'll see what happens from there on out. So let's start preparing for some of these stocks here real quick. Starting with Apple. I'm gonna actually go to the hourly chart and go to regular market hours. And I might need to turn. I need to go take a look at where these stocks are on. Yeah, so they are all the way back into 208s. That is pretty interesting. Back into 208, and I already have a line down there. So I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same story for all my stocks that I'm watching at the moment. Most of them already have these levels mapped out that I'm interested in. So not much work really needed from me, besides just, you know, mentally preparing and visually preparing for all the opportunities that potentially could set up. So let me quickly show you guys the overall charts. The pictures that the White House tweeted themselves for the reciprocal tariffs. So you can see by going through these images, there is no Canada or Mexico anywhere on this, which is, I guess, you know, surprising thing to begin with, but it's a good thing overall for Canada and for Mexico. Might be some sort of a truce / friendship being formed over here between the two. Maybe he just doesn't want to piss off the two neighboring countries, and you know, start a trade war with them, because that's obviously not a good thing. You know, Canada imports a lot and exports a lot with America, and same thing vice versa. So obviously you don't want to piss off your number one exporter and importer. And but looks like he did not care about anything else. He absolutely went ballistic on some of these names over here. Some of them got like a 50% rebuttal, like a 50 over here. They hit him back with 25, so 50%. But then you have countries like Peru where you know, they're hitting back with 10% to 10%. If you actually go down over here, you'll see a lot of these are almost 100% reciprocal hits, 10% to 10%. But the idea, I guess, of doing this is he's expecting some of these countries to cut the tariffs themselves. So let's say Maldives cuts the tariffs by 10%, then he cuts the tariffs back down to 0%, basically. So the whole idea is for other countries to roll back on their tariffs, and then USA can roll back on their tariffs. Now this is going to be the new key terminology that I bet you programs and traders are going to be looking out for. People are going to be coding software, coding news trading algorithms, watching to see how other countries react to this. So let's say China, for example, actually increases from 67 now to 77, then there's a chance that US actually goes from 34 to 44 or even 50. But if China goes from 67 to, let's say, 50, there's a chance that US goes from 34 to 25. So the whole idea over there is keeping an eye open or ears open on the squawks on the news services to see how other countries A react, and then B, how does USA react back. And all of this will be very, very important for the market. I think you'll see more of this happening than you expect. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. If for example, some of the bigger countries that actually import export, like China, India, European Union, I'm not sure if Vietnam, well, they do charge 90%, but you know, if they are big in the import export to the United States and so on, but you know, if some of these countries start bringing their percentages down, I wouldn't doubt Trump and USA bringing their percentages as a reciprocal lower also. So all of this should eventually help the market out. This is a little weak overall. You clearly don't want to see the market pushing into the lows of that it's currently pushing into. And if you actually go into the 5-minute chart, we are holding below these levels. So holding below that is not a good indication. And you know, expecting a gap down, we did not capitulate at all. It did look like you know, we could start some sort of a capitulation, but no, that's a bouncy ball. That's another bouncy ball setting up into pre-market. So not good signs at all. And this is your S&P 500. That's a nice little volume candle on the way down, but then price acceptance and then slow move to the downside. Someone in my pod, a friend of mine actually, in my trading pod, mentioned that what's the quote? I can't remember the quote. Let me see if I can find it. The quote goes something along the lines that oh, there you go. This doesn't look like capitulation. It looks like a response. So this is basically a response to the tariffs. And, you know, people are obviously worried that all of this is overall negative and not positive at all. Yeah, he's seeing it as a positive for the overall country because he's a businessman and he's running the country like a business, but this is not going to be a good thing for the citizens, the people. For example, your toothpaste now might cost $7 instead of $5 or whatever it used to cost, right? So the cost will just be offloaded onto the customers, and overall we're the one who are going to pay for it. We're the one who are going to eat the cost, not Trump, not America. And it's going to be a pain in everyone else's butt. Lots of money getting taken out of the market because of that too. And you're seeing this response action take place. So once again, tomorrow, very simple instruments that I'm watching to take advantage of. I can't type, UVXY. Currently around that $30 area. We are, COVID was 64. So this is, was that COVID? No, COVID was, I guess after splits, we kind of lost those numbers. But COVID was somewhere around those prices. I can't remember. Somewhere around these prices for COVID too. For some reason, I remember it like that. But 2024, the most recent market crash, 64 UVXY. Let's see if we can get back into those crazy territories. And if we do, oh boy, I think if I go to VIX, this might be a better way to take a look at volatility exactly during COVID. So here's during COVID volatility at 85. And this is the most recent August recession that we had because of the Japan scare, the Japan yen crashing and bringing the market down. The carryover trade, as they called it, that kind of hurt the market a lot. So now basically pushing back. I'm not sure if this trades after hours. Does this trade live? This basically stopped at 4 o'clock. So tomorrow I'm expecting this to open much higher, and we'll see if this gets above 30 or not. If the VIX gets above 30, I mean, that's really volatile situation. I think yesterday or maybe last week we took a look at fear and greed index. Let's go take a look at the same index meter now and see if it dropped lower. It actually went to 17. I think we saw it at 27, so now it's at 17, still at extreme fear, and going deeper into the fear column over here on the fear and greed sector. So when people are fearful, be greedy. I guess 27 is the wrong number. Yeah, 27 was wrong. Maybe 23 or 21 is what we saw it at. Now we're at 17 on the extreme fear side. And as people say, right, extreme fear, be greedy when people are fearful. I'm not sure if this is the right environment to be thinking about that analogy. Let's actually zoom out on QQQ and throw in an anchored VWAP from a couple points. Let's throw in one from the... Ooh. That's okay. That's not the best thing. I was expecting it to come in the middle of this range here a little bit, but you're actually seeing that merge with the 200-day moving average and showing resistance exactly on pop. You can see how the market popped into the 200-day moving average and then sold off. This is your QQQ market, by the way. Let's zoom back to 2022 lows, or no, even 2020, the August, the COVID lows, and kind of mark it from there and see where that bad boy comes down to. So that one comes somewhere down here. I don't think the market goes all the way back there, but if we have 2 years of darkness in the market, we'll see what happens. Interest rates have dropped big tonight. We do have some economic numbers coming out tomorrow, and these tariffs are not really going to help with inflation, right? Things are going to be costing more, prices are going to go up, and overall you're going to see inflation still be a battle for people. Even if it's not inflation directly through interest rates being higher, it might just be because of tariffs going absolutely through the roofs, right? So I'm not sure if that's a talking point at the moment, if interest rates have dropped big tonight or not, in terms of the bond yield prices or however it is that you're looking at. But I'm pretty sure we're not going to get a cut of interest rates anytime soon. They're going to be stuck at 2%, especially in the current environment that Trump's tariffs is creating for us. So, I mean, I'm not really a macro guy. I'm just throwing out theories out there. So, you know, at the end of the day, non-financial advice, make your own decisions, do your own due diligence. But I really don't think it's going to make too much of a difference with the fresh news catalyst we had. So I'm expecting some sort of a big gap down and a flush and then a bounce as we capitulate off of that. But this could easily just not have that move and just slowly trickle down tomorrow all day. So prepare for a couple scenarios, be ready for all of them, and be ready to really take advantage. Let's throw in the anchored VWAP from this bad boy too, and that also comes in right around that area. Isn't that crazy? 2020, do we want to go back all the way there? Okay, fine. I heard Google was that at COVID lows. I might be wrong by saying that. It's not at COVID lows. Who said that? Whoever said COVID lows on Google, come on, dude. What did they say about Microsoft? No, not even Microsoft. Microsoft was really at 140 in COVID. How come I don't remember that? And now it's 400. Oh my god. This is why I can't wait for the market to crash so I can buy the dip. Please, God, let it crash. Let it burn. Today was Liberation Day, and it is for sure liberating long-term portfolios. All these long-term portfolios feel absolutely free and burnt up, man. I mean, so much money getting burnt up in the market currently. Shout out to Trump. That's all you can say about that one. So Nvidia apparently at $104, so that's all the way back into this last month's low, so that also is going to get exciting for us. If we do break below here on Nvidia, you can expect semiconductor ETF, which not too long ago I told you about that theory that short bear on Twitter was talking about. So if that theory ends up being true, then semiconductor ETF bubble popping it means a lot more downside, potentially back down to 100, back down to even 60 if that ends up going to the bigger downside areas. So be careful. This AI bubble, this semiconductor bubble does seem scary at the moment. You're seeing Micron give up a big level. That level right there, $83. I can basically delete all those lines that I just had up there. Yeah, let's actually go for it. Delete all those lines that we had up there and throw in that bad boy real quick. Micron breaking this level is huge. So these are the type of levels that you want to go around hunting for. For example, Reddit, right? Reddit giving up this big level to the downside and getting below 100. That's going to be a big short move. And finally, giving up the 200-day moving average. It broke initially, but reclaimed it and had couple strong days along with the market, and now going right back down. So anyone who bought the last few days, they're scared and they're probably jumping out. Reddit back into the $100 price. So scan for charts around these levels, and then basically, is that Miss V in your profile picture? Oh, it's not. I thought it was Miss V in your profile picture. I was like, whoa, why do you have that? But no, it might be your own picture. Semis are now exempt from the tariffs, but not sure if the market will care. Yeah, I mean, if the overall market drops, you're still going to have that trickle down on the sectors and on the rest of the stocks itself. And like I said, Micron breaking this big level here is very important. Breaking 83 it is just automatically short below it. So as long as the stock can stay below 83 for me, there is just no questions for me about what I'm doing on the stock. Under over 83, if stock can stay below it tomorrow, short the hell out of it. Simple, very, very easy trade. Short every single pop. Look for the VWAP rejects. Look for the 9 EMA rejects. Look for the 21 EMA rejects, and so on. Who is Miss V? Oh, okay. I thought I remember seeing your name during Trader TV Live period. If not, then I guess you don't know who Miss V is. She used to be my co-host on Trader TV Live. Pretty sure if I do that, I should be able to find her face somewhere. That should be her. Miss V. God, our faces are completely deleted with the amount of content that these guys post now. You don't even see. Oh, there I am. There's my face. That's Miss V. I think this was her last day. Yeah, this was Miss V's last day at work. There was only one day that she worked here, and her face is more obvious than my face anywhere. It's almost like these guys paid to get rid of my face completely from every single platform that they have. You gotta love it, huh? You gotta love it. So spiteful, these guys. Hey, they can't get rid of my ugly face. It's still there, baby. But that's Miss V right there. That blondie. And when I saw your picture, it looked very similar to that, so I kind of freaked out. There she is. Yes, I remember the interview I did with her, of course. Of course I remember that. Let's see if I type in... Oh, you do see my face sometimes. Okay, but these are all just basically my pictures. Anyways. What was that message I just got? What was that Uber promo? Prad, you have a Uber promo. Thanks, dude. I don't care about your Uber promo. Stop trying to make me use it. So coming back to the charts, Micron 83, Nvidia 103.50 I think was the level. I'm pretty sure Nvidia is at 104 area at the moment, and getting below 103.50 and staying weak under that, it is just a no-brainer short. So at the moment it is support. I'll just put 103.50 as the inflection level. Come on, can I color it? Thank you. 103.50 as the inflection level to keep an eye out for, and if we do get below it, I am very much interested to see how we can take advantage of the shorts on the sector. I think AVGO might not be a bad name to keep an eye on. 160 coming into play now, and if you pull up AVGO's charts, you can see how 160 to 156 potentially could have support, and if that area ends up being weak, it's just doomsday for AVGO from there on out. That could take the stock, you know, even lower than 160 area. So a little support area expected over here, and if we don't bounce from here, oh boy, I'm not even sure what to expect from there then. So 160 at the moment in the after hours did look like it tried to hold, but potentially worth keeping an eye on. I'm just not going to put it on my watch list at the moment because I just want the cleaner, easier trades. For example, Micron, for example, Nvidia. Tesla not really as clean because it's still above all these levels where some of the stocks are at. Like for example, Nvidia, QQQ is below this low. Microsoft is well below that low also. So I really only care about stocks that are almost at the most recent lows or below them. If any of them are above it, it's almost like, okay, you're still too resilient and still too strong for me to care about the big short theme. The only way I do care about these stocks is if the market is having a big bounce tomorrow, then these might be the names I quickly try to look for a long in, because these are the ones that are holding up really well. But honestly, if the market's looking for a big bounce, I might just get long the market and then short UVXY overall. Glad to have Micron puts, says our friend Urbanista. I mean, you are potentially going to be printing on these as long as it stays below 83 at least. I mean, you're already printing on these because you probably have them much higher, but as long as it stays below 83, I think you have a lot more room to the downside. So on a pop into 83 to 84, I'm interested to see how this sets up tomorrow to take advantage for sure. Sure, all pops if stock is below 103.50s. Okay, Meta potentially worth keeping an eye on, but volume and spread is the only thing that completely turns me off on that name. That's the only downside over there. Amazon, this one, I guess you could keep an eye on this one. It could be the easier trade compared to Nvidia or the overall market itself, but I I'm not sure I'll be focusing on Amazon as much. I think I'll rather just focus on Nvidia or Micron, because the semiconductor sector just looks absolutely weak at the moment. So that is kind of the sector I want to focus on if the market's really getting touched. Apple all the way back to 208 and actually below 208. And if there is a sector that's going to get possibly hurt quite a bit off of tariffs, China imports and so on, Apple has to do a lot of work. And what Apple is going to, apparently according to Trump, spent $500 billion. Maybe that's a crazy number. Was it $5 billion, $50 billion, whatever the amount was, to bring production back home to America, and save themselves and bring I guess employment and workforce to America. At least that's the hope and goals. We'll see if it ends up playing out that way. Your Apple products now are going to go from $1,000 to $10,000, so people are for sure going to be excited about that one. Overall, all I care about is, what does the stock do under 208.50, 208.42, 208.50? If it continues to stay below that, I'm only caring about the week. So I think pick a couple stocks that you might be interested on to short tomorrow. And if these stocks are short all pots, if stock is weak below 208.50, so pick a couple of stocks and obviously focus in on them. Tomorrow might just be one of those days where you short any stock and you get lucky and then it just goes to the downside. You never know. Tomorrow could also be one of those days where we gap down, like for example right here where my cursor is, we gap down big time and then we actually spend the rest of the day going up instead. So you want to be careful of how you play and where the stock is. If we're still around this 208, 207 area off the open, I love the short. Especially if we're a week below 208. Let's say Apple opens at 207 tomorrow. I love the short. I'll get short 207, looking for a stop around 208.50. I'll give it $1.50 risk for a big move to the downside. If it plays out, payday, right? Same idea for Nvidia, same idea for Micron. If Micron's opening around 83, 82, if it even opens around $80 and looks weak around $80, I'll get short, looking for a flush right off the open. And then I can look for other trades later on in the day. If Micron has a big flush off the open from $80 to what is Micron's ATR? It is probably $5. I was expecting like $7. So $5 ATR, 450 ATR. Let's say it goes from 80 to 75 or even like $70, goes $10 right off the open. Take your profits and possibly look for some sort of a capitulation long, right? Because people are saying that, what is it? That semis are exempt from the tariffs. So if that is the case, the weakness might actually give you a really good capitulation long. But if it doesn't have that sort of a scenario at all, then just hold on to your shorts and just ride the wave. Tomorrow is going to be absolute fireworks. I am so excited. I might not even be able to sleep tonight. But gotta get some sleep in. Gotta get some rest, my beauty rest, so I'm able to slam this, what could be a big day. This is where you could make your month, your year, your quarter, I guess I should have used quarter instead of a year first, but you get the idea. This is where dreams are made of. If you participated in the 2020 market crash, then this is where you should really be able to take advantage of the market. So I'm a little excited because obviously 2020 was the beginning of my trading career, and with everything that I know now after my 4 years of absolutely getting railed in the market, Let's see what happens. I bet market scared people to sell their shares. Bullish, says Dieter. Dieter, sounds like you are, what is it called again? Wishful thinking. You are wishful thinking, Dieter, because, you know, these events that we just had might not be the best thing at all. Might not be the good thing for overall longs on the market. Tariffs? Yikes, I'm not sure. Dieter says, as always. I mean, hey, if you don't sell your portfolios, then you never took a loss, right? If you don't sell your portfolios, you never took a loss. And if you have money, then just keep buying stocks on the dips into dollar cost averaging, and then when the dips stop dipping, you will thank yourself, right? Not financial advice, obviously, but this is potentially where you know, if you do it right, I think there's possibly, you know, a year and a half downside in the market. I could be wrong. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? There's possibly a year downside in the market where things just go lower, and then after that, you have possibly the second biggest bull run the market's ever gonna go on. So let's see how it plays out. The market has been on the biggest bull run it has ever seen since 2008. You're seeing how big of a move now. I can't even zoom out on the chart. That's how big of a move on 2008. So let's zoom out here a little bit. There we go. That's the last crash. Market has gone up 1,700% since 2008. Okay, the greatest bull run. You can call this the last crash. That's a 100% pump from the last from the last crash, which was the COVID crash, 2020 2022 crash, right? That's 100% run over there. So now you might have some real correction, pullback, and then the biggest bull run again, where people might actually go crazy on the dips. So we'll see how it plays out. I just have some crazy madman theories. I'm looking for a lot of action anyways for the day trades. So if you are a day trader, this is the environment for you. The volatility, the moves, the fun, this is the environment for you. If you're a swing trader, this is not the environment for you. And if you are a long-term trader, sadly, this is where you take profits or you take losses. If you follow any of the big-time traders on Twitter, there's two people that I would really recommend for long-term trading. His name is Real Simple Ariel. He's actually streaming daily now on Twitter or x.com, and him and another guy that I follow are both saying the same thing, which is the only thing in their portfolio at the moment is short the market. These are guys who swing trade and make a lot of money, okay? Make a lot of money. And when these guys are saying the only thing in my portfolio at the moment is short the market, I'm out of all the swing trades and all the long terms, things like this. If the SPY is above the 20-day, swing trade. If the SPY is below the 20-day, get a hobby. Find something else to do. So if you're a swing trader, this is not your environment. And if you're a long-term trader, you potentially need to reconsider what you're doing. Maybe you might want to learn about how to trade options so you could hedge yourself, find a way to catch premium. I don't know how Warren Buffett does it, but find a way to, you know, make premium and hedge yourself using options. Or maybe time to take some losses and then find a way to buy back on the dip. think about it as a day trade, right? If this is a 1 minute chart and you went long here and you did not get long on out for profit on that failed breakout, your stop triggers somewhere over here. So if you are a long-term trader and you're investing in stocks, you should have a stop somewhere. And if you don't have a stop somewhere, then you're going to be holding this really far back against you. And when the market actually pops back, if you're not in the right names, for example, if you're in very speculative names like MicroStrategy, or if you're in very speculative names like, you know, drone names, RCAT, oh, which actually surprisingly went up today. Ooh, RCAT, what happened over here? On their earnings move? Wow, okay, RCAT. But, you know, if your money is in speculative names over here, AI names, Palantir, for example, taking a beating on their valuation now, that is... these stocks might not bounce back the way you think it will when the market actually bounces back. For example, here's a great example. Upstart. People thought the 200-day moving average over here was good in 2021 when the market was crashing. Oh, okay, fine. Maybe 80 is good. Ah, shit. Okay, it was not good. We're going to go all the way to $20. And then, you know, how long did it take to go back into that 80? Is it even ever going to go back into that 200, 400, 500? If the market's crashing the way right now, does this have a potential to even go back into these prices? Imagine the person who bought it at 300, or okay, let's go a little conservative, 179, and never got out of that trade for a loss. He's been in a loss for ever since 2022 January to March 2025, and still having to pray that the stock goes back up. Instead, take a loss on that move lower, look for a spot to get back in, and then you make your money back that you lost and potentially even more. So just an idea. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but you know, if you're trading even a long term without an idea of using a stop, and your whole idea is just to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, you got to be careful what stocks you're doing that on. Okay, you got to be careful what stocks you're doing that on. And that's my 2 cents on that one. It's much better to take a quick loss and then come back in later on a dip. That's my opinion. But end of the day, I never swing traded, and I shouldn't say never invested, because I did invest and I did make money, very little money, but I did invest and I was profitable for how little I did invest in stocks. And I think, yeah, this is the environment where you want to be very careful, because things can get ugly real quick. I did show you guys the econ calendar already. I believe I did. Yes, I did show you guys the econ calendar. Anything on the IPO calendar for tomorrow? That's today, and does not look like there's anything tomorrow. Let me refresh this page. Nope, and that means pretty much done for today's stream. A quick 15 minutes earlier than the usual stream time. But I could have been done much earlier. I was just dragging things along because I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit longer. So hopefully you guys are ready for tomorrow. Go chart some stocks. Go get ready for these plays. My main focus: Micron, Nvidia, QQQ, S&P 500, and UVXY. Hopefully fireworks and not a nothing burger day. Buy gold, short US dollar, says my good friend. How do you short US dollar through ETFs again? I forget what the ticker was. I don't know. I forget what the ticker was. But gold, GLD, that's your ETF. So if you want to buy gold, obviously, I think that's actually the answer, right? You buy gold during recession, and you buy companies like Walmart, Costco, Target, and so on. So a couple ideas over there if you're interested in the long term. But yeah, that's basically all she wrote. I wish you guys the best of luck. It's time to roll in the outro. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And hopefully I have a very, very good day to show you. Wish you guys the best. Peace out.
My big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.